Okay, camera is rolling. And one, and two, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello everyone, my name is Joanny and I just finished my first year as a physician associate student in the UK, and today I'm going to be giving you guys an honest review of first year of PA school. Welcome to Love Qualified, by the way. Right, okay, so I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. I think when I asked you guys on Instagram a while ago to give me some questions or some video ideas that you wanted me to do, someone said they would want me to spill the tea on PA school. So I thought I'll do this video. Now that I've finished first year, I've done my exams, I've gotten my results, I thought I'd just give you guys an honest review of PA school, how I found my first year. So, okay, let's go all the way back to the beginning and go back to the beginning of lectures and the different modules. So basically we had 3 modules. So the first one was Foundation in Clinical Medicine, which is FCM exam, which is what we call it FCM. And it's basically it contains anatomy, physiology, and then all the different conditions that we need to know. And this is the exam that we're going to be having for the written component of the national exam. We had another module which is called PPD, which is Professional and Personal Development. This module had communication skills, clinical exam skills, case histories, reflections, and loads of other debates, things that we had, but I'll talk about these in more detail as I go along. And then we had our applied pharmacology module, which was all things pharmacology really. We had different lectures to do with pharmacology and drugs, and we had to learn the mode of action, side effects, interactions for these drugs, and loads of other things. Then we had our EBP exam module, which was evidence-based practice or evidence-based medicine. If you watch my vlogs, you would see that I had an exam for that back in March. This was mainly a module to do with evidence-based medicine, really. We had to learn about statistics, we had to learn about flipping specificity and specificity and selectivity. I can't even remember it now, but literally like different, I don't know, stats tests and interpreting like data from papers and stuff like that. And yeah, that EBP exam, like studying for EBP was just, you know, a nightmare, because no one took it seriously until January came and it hit us that this was actually something that we had to take seriously from the beginning of the year. So if you have a module like that, please take it seriously, because when the time for exams come, it's just going to be something else. I think then we had the anatomy. We had some anatomy and physiology as well, which was basically just anatomy really. We had anatomy lectures. So we had anatomy every Thursday, anatomy lectures, and then we had the DR sessions in the dissection room, which not all unis offer, but my university is one of the only unis that offered anatomy teaching using cadavers. So we had dissection room stuff, so that was good. So a typical week, we are typically in every single day of the week, like mostly 9 to 5, especially on the Mondays and the Tuesdays and Thursdays when we have long days. Wednesdays were dedicated to placement, and Fridays were dedicated to clinical skills. And Fridays were the good days because we usually finished at 1 or 12, depending on what group of clinical exam skills you were in. But yeah, we were mostly in most days, to be fair, especially when things got serious. And about October time, when we started in September, when we hadn't started placement, we used to get Wednesdays off. But once placement started, we rarely had days off. So when we did have days off, like on bank holidays and stuff, like it was like a prayer answered, literally. But yeah, a typical week in PA school and first year for me at my uni, again, this might be different for every other university, but this is for St. George's. Mondays, we had communication skills in the morning. Sometimes we had lectures before that, but we usually had communication skills at 11 o'clock. And then after communication skills, we had lunch, and then we had lectures in the afternoon. So lectures for the FCM module. So anatomy, so not anatomy, we had physiology lectures and lectures to do with clinical conditions. Then on Tuesdays we had PBL in the morning, so PBLs were from 9 to 1. Yes, my dear, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's how long our PBL sessions were. And don't worry, I'll talk about PBL in more detail like later on. But yes, we had that, and then we usually had lectures again in the afternoon after lunch. Wednesdays were for placements all day, so depending on your surgery, I usually went into placement for 8:30 and I usually left at around 5:30 or 6, so depending on where you are, your placement might vary. And then on Thursdays we had lectures in the morning, and then we had anatomy teaching in the afternoon, and then from the anatomy lectures we went straight into DR. And then Fridays were for clinical skills. Fridays were my best days really, because I love clinical skills and we usually finished early, so I loved Fridays. Anyway, that's it for like the lectures and the modules and stuff. The lectures were quite intense, like they were just throwing it at us back to back, like you had to keep on top of everything. If not, you're just gonna be behind. Literally, I've talked about this in previous videos, like how I studied and how I made notes and stuff. So if you want to watch all of that, just go and watch my previous videos. I'll leave the link down below to the playlist, the PA School playlist, so I urge you to please go and watch all of them. So yeah, now back to PBL sessions. PBL was interesting. So the thing about PBL is that they put you with different groups for each term. So with PBL, you go in, you're usually in a group of 9 or 10, and you have a facilitator, and you get a case every week. So you guys come in, you talk about the case, you go through the case together, you talk about the different patients, and then you come up with learning objectives, what we call LOBs. That's what you guys might have seen me in the vlogs doing every Monday night. If you don't do your LOBs, if you don't do your LOBs, people will be watching, or they will see that you're not doing your LOBs, you're not participating. So engage in PBL, please speak, okay? Even if you don't like the people that you're with, please open your mouth and speak, because at the end of it, your peers are going to rate how you've done, how well they think you've participated. So PBL is a good place to just learn how to work with other people, especially if it's people that you don't like or people that you don't necessarily get along with. It'll be good to just put all of that aside and still try to work with them, because to be honest, even when you start working, you might be part of a team where you don't like someone there, but you're still gonna have to work with them to come up with the desired objective at the end of the day. So it's all about the patients. So this is a good way to learn communication skills and to talk and to speak and to express yourself. So my one tip for PBL is to speak, participate, make sure you do your work, make sure you do your LOBs. Don't turn up to PBL and not make it when you haven't done your LOBs. Try to do your LOBs. Yeah. And then the next thing is communication skills. Now, I think I love communication skills because it just helps you to build that confidence with getting a good history from patients. And I feel like these sessions really helped me a lot. So we had them every Monday, and we went through communication skills for each system. So for example, with a cardio, in the cardiovascular system, if someone came in with chest pain or shortness of breath or back pain or pain in their calves and stuff, it gets you to start thinking about the differentials, and you start thinking about the different questions to ask. With communication skills, they basically make you do it in front of everyone in your group. So again, they divide us into groups, and they make you do it in front of everyone in your group, and you have to speak. Like, everyone has their turn, so you can't escape it. If you're not someone who speaks, who like speaking in front of people, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak at some point, because I was someone who was shy as well. Like, I'm still shy, but I had to put that behind me and just throw myself out there, because with this course, like our course director always says, the people who learn best are those people who put themselves out there and, practice their communication skills. Towards like the end of the year, people say getting bored with com skills, but let me tell you, com skills are very important, because for your OSCE, they will give you so many stations to take a history, and if you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get the right diagnosis. So please, take communication skills sessions very, very seriously, because for your OSCE, you're going to take histories, and also at placement as well, you're going to be taking histories. So don't be chewing your lips and be sighing and be kissing your teeth when it's time for com skills, because they're gonna help you. Clinical exam skills. I loved clinical exam skills. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss Friday afternoons. Like, I just loved them. I loved, learning, like doing check blood pressure, practicing with your friends. Again, take this seriously, because you might not have time to be practicing after uni, or practicing with your friends at home or your family at home. So that's the time that they've given you to practice your skills. So practice your skills, please. Practice your communications, your clinical exam skills, because you're going to need that for your OSCE, and OSCEs are very important. So do it all. So we had a lot of debates as well throughout the year. So I know we had one on MMR, we had one on organ donation, we had one on the HPV vaccine, and we had loads of other ones throughout the year. Take these ones seriously, because they could come in your OSCE. One of the debates that we had throughout the year came in my OSCE, my end of year OSCE. So even though they are like, I don't know, just like debates, we had one to do with abortion as well. So even though they might not test you on it at the end, depending on what your uni says, these are actually things that you might encounter in the clinical setting, in GP or in hospital. So it's good to take these debates seriously, because you might be faced with these in real life. So I love these debates. They were a pain to prepare for, but I love them, and I'm glad I paid attention, because one of them came in the OSCE. So take the debates seriously, and again, engage in the debates, participate, do your best. Courseworks. Courseworks, case histories and reflections. Oh god, literally, I hated reflections. Absolutely hated reflections. With every bone in my body, I just hated reflections. Why? I don't know. I get the fact that we have to reflect on practice, which is very good. It's very useful though in clinical practice, but writing them are such a pain. They'd be asking you, how do you feel? They'd be asking you, you have to do your analysis, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do that. And then the annoying thing about these case histories and reflections is that the mark you get depends on who's marking it. Like, they give you like a rubric or whatever, but then like every single person wants you to include different things, and I'm just tired. By the end of it, I was just like, do you know what, I don't even care anymore. At the end of the day, it's only 5%. It was only 5% of the whole module, like the whole PPD module, and you put in so much work, and then you get your results back, and you're just like, why do I even bother? So it was a little bit of a pain, especially reflection. I think case histories, I prefer case histories because they're more clinical based. So like you just follow the format of how you take a history. So like the history of presenting complaint, the past medical history, family history, social history, all of that stuff. So you have to write it based on a patient that you saw in GP. We had to do that, and I preferred case histories a lot more than reflections. Reflections, you had to choose a scenario which we had different competencies. So I think we had to do one on public health, we had to do one on teamwork, we had to do one on time management, and then we had to do the last one was on ethics and law. So you have to pick different scenarios under these different competencies, and you have to reflect on them. And I just hated them. I hated reflections, to be honest. Like, I'm so glad we don't have to write them in second year. So glad. I would prefer to write more case histories than be writing reflections, because reflections are just no. Moving on. So we had GP placements. So at my university, we have only GP placements in first year, and we have GP every Wednesday. If you watch my vlogs, you would see, or you would know. I started off by just observing, just sitting in with different doctors and nurses and just observing them. But then they gave me clinics very early in November. I started seeing my own patients. I had clinics in the morning and in the afternoon. and this helped me so much in terms of taking a history. I was so confident by the end of it all by taking a really good a history from a patient. But again, one thing that I mentioned in previous videos is, after making a diagnosis, is to try and think about the investigations and management plan. So I think that that's something that I would really want to work on in my second year. I'm going back to GP for 9 weeks in second year, and so I'm excited because I want to go back with so much more, like I want to go back with a bang, like, you know, like go back to GP and just like slay. And it's going to be great because we've learned everything now. We've learned all the systems. So hopefully I'll be able to be more confident with in terms of thinking of investigations and management and all of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. And you guys know I want to work in GP, so I'm looking forward to those 9 weeks. It's going to be great. Anyway, too bad for those who don't like GP and who have to go back for 9 weeks. Too bad. Talking about social life, yeah, there's nothing like that. I'm sorry. What is social life like? What is it? I mean, maybe there are other PA students who'll be telling you how they'll be going for weddings and parties and traveling in midterm or whatever. Me, I had no social life, literally none. Okay, I finish uni, I stay in the library till midnight, go home and sleep. Next day, go to uni. After uni, go to library, stay there till midnight, go home and sleep, and repeat. It was a constant cycle, I'm telling you. I'm not even joking. There's nothing like social life. Saturdays, I spend all my days at uni, and then Sundays I go to church, come back. Sometimes even on Sundays I went to uni, some days I didn't, I just slept at home. But to be honest, it's nothing like social life, to be honest. There's nothing to talk about on this section, so I'm just gonna move on. Be prepared, guys, to sacrifice. So if you have relationships, family, best friends, whatever, for the next 2 years, if you're starting the course, you might have to tell them, look, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna disappear for 2 years because I need to focus and get this degree. They just have to understand. They would have to understand, because there's not much of a social life with this course, and as harsh as it sounds, it is true. So you best believe it, so that when you get in there, you won't be shocked. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. Now let's talk about exams. So exams, we had formative exams and then we had summative exams. So formative exams are ones that don't count, and summative exams are ones that do count. We had formative exams for the FCM module. We had one in December, early December. We had one in March, and then we had one in June. Okay, then we had the summative FCM in July. Then we also had a formative OSCE, like a mock OSCE, back in March. If you guys remember when I did that, go and watch my vlogs. We had a formative OSCE back in March, and I think those were the only formative exams we had. We had a summative EBP exam in March as well. Like I said, we had no practice for that, so it was a do or die situation. That was it. So we had that, and then we had a summative applied pharmacology exam in July. Again, we didn't have any practice exams for that. So with the applied pharmacology, it was the one thing that you just had to go in there and try to pass. And then we had the summative OSCE as well, which was at the end of March. I'm really glad that we had the practice mock, like the mock OSCE, because that gave me a really good idea of you know, what to expect in an OSCE. So that really helped me a lot. With exams, I think at my uni, they give you, if you do fail an exam, they give you one more go, so you get a chance to resit once. And then when you do pass, I think they cap it at the pass mark. And then if you don't pass, so there are some modules, certain modules that you have to pass in order to progress to the next year too. So with some of these modules, if you don't pass them, they can give you a chance to repeat the year. So yeah, I just thought I'll put that out there. But yeah, that's it for exams. They were stressful, guys. They were so stressful, the most stressful time ever, but God. Again, if you've watched my vlogs, you would know. So I'm just giving you a quick summary of the whole year. But if you've watched my vlogs, you would know the detail, like the deets of what exactly I'm talking about. Finally, exam results. Your girl passed her first year. If you haven't seen already, because I announced this on Instagram a while ago, if you haven't seen, I passed my first year of PA school. I'm so glad. God is good. God is absolutely amazing. I would have never done it without him. I passed all my exams, and I passed so the applied pharmacology, the FCM exam, and my mock OSCE. I wanted to do like a reacting to opening my results kind of thing, but because they sent out the results on 3 different days, and I wasn't even in the when I received the results, I wasn't in the best. I wasn't at home. I was like outside, out and about. I just opened the email. So sorry, guys. Maybe I'll do that next year. But I did pass my first year. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you for all the new people who have subscribed to this channel. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. I love interacting with you guys in the comments on Instagram. If you have any more questions about PA school, about my first year, just let me know. And if you have any more requests for videos that you want me to do, especially those who are preparing, who are starting PA school soon, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and God bless. Bye.